This past Shabbos, we read the Torah portion of Vayeshev. And this Torah portion actually dealt with a family struggle. Very righteous brothers who saw the world somewhat differently. And the dispute spiraled to a point where Yosef's brothers tossed him into a pit. Now, they thought they were throwing him into an empty pit. It was empty, but the commentator Rashi explains there were snakes and scorpions there. And these were deadly snakes and scorpions. And the only reason why Yosef survived it all was due to miraculous divine intervention. So Yosef was saved by this open miracle. And then he was sold as a slave to a caravan and eventually was sold a few times and ended up a slave in Egypt. And amazingly, miraculously, he eventually became the viceroy, the second in command of the largest and most powerful nation in the world. But that miracle, one could suggest, one could argue, wasn't a miracle. It was skilled speaking ability. It was craftsmanship. It was superior logic. It was being in the right place at the right time. It was luck. It was circumstance. It was coincidence. It's a little more of a hidden miracle. This Torah portion is almost always read right before Chanukah or during Chanukah. And the Chanukah story also has a similar dichotomy, where you have the open miracle of the oil, when there was only enough oil to last for just one night, for one day, and miraculously it lasted for 8 days, 8 times capacity. There was no natural way to explain that other than divine intervention. But there was another miracle in the Chanukah story, that a small band of Jewish heroes managed to defeat the better trained, better equipped, and much larger Syrian Greek army. There, although it was miraculous, one could argue perhaps it was the military tactics, it was the guerrilla warfare, it was the courage, it was the oppressed fighting for their freedom. One could make that argument. One of the lessons of Hanukkah and one of the turning points in Jewish history is the change from open miracles to hidden miracles. It's the change from the time of the 10 plagues and the splitting of the sea and the oil, the types of miracles where God's hand is undeniable, to a time period where miracles still happen every day, but they're subtle. They require us to open our eyes and to notice them. So perhaps during this Hanukkah, we can make an extra effort to see the miracles that God does for us every single day. And perhaps we can create our own miracle. In addition to lighting the menorah commemorating miracles from the past, we could light our own candle. We could light our soul. We could light the spark within us to enlighten and enlarge our spirituality, our closeness to our Creator, to our families, to our loved ones, and to our Jewish brothers and sisters, and to really light up the world. Thank you all so much. Happy Hanukkah.